Donkey Kong took a long break from his prior regularly scheduled platforming thanks to Rare being snatched up and vored by Microsoft. Since then, Donkey Kong has been a second Kirby for the Big N, being delegated to spin-off Guinea Pig where the contracted devs just throw whatever at the wall to see what stuck. Nothing did. The only thing resembling a good game was Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, something I'm sure I'll get to one of these days, but nothing touched the Country series or even the underappreciated 64. One day, someone at Nintendo woke up violently and screamed, "Oh shit! Retro Studios!" This sudden realization that Nintendo bought a company specifically to bring back dormant franchises is what got us a product I'm here to talk about today, Donkey Kong Country Returns. We could end the review right here and now, as this is very much what it says in the tin. Of course, Retro wouldn't be caught dead committing complete plagiarism, so let's see how the Big D's return to his homeland fares, huh? Now, this is a Donkey Kong Country game, meaning there is enough of a story to move along, and that is about it. Sadly, there had to have been some kind of random, dumb licensing issues regarding the Kremlings, as they decided to leave Donkey alone this time. What replaces them are still fitting of the setting, but boy are they a lot lamer. Replacing our big, burly, scaly men are floating, psychic, hypnotic pieces of wood. Yup, our scaly bait villains are replaced with the wooden tiki-tack tribe who look different, and that is about it. The whole premise of the story here is that the evil hive mind tiki-tack tribe descend in Donkey Kong's territory and hypnotize everything and everyone into stealing Donkey Kong's bananas. Why? Well, I'm not quite sure, so you'll have to ask them. You better do it quick, as Donkey is ready to put the beat down on all of them. There isn't really much else to the story, and it is what it is for a platformer, though I do give it props for explaining why the animals all want Donkey Kong dead. They were hypnotized. I also like that the only reason Donkey himself wasn't is he's too stupid for the spell to work. Gotta love a hero some of us can relate to. As mentioned before, Donkey Kong Country Returns is a Donkey Kong Country game. There, I said it again. Review over, right? Well, I'll say wrong here, as it actually plays a fair bit differently, all while keeping a similar feel. You still progress through the various stages by going left to right, or up to down, or down to up, whatever the level designers wanted, and you still jump on enemies to put them into the ground. You can still hold a button to run, roll into things, carry barrels, and climb on vines, but all of it is just a little different. Rolling is done by violently abusing the Wii Remote while moving forward, and that last bit is important, and it performs similarly to it before, only it goes further and is more useful for traversal than actual combat. Barrels are weightier, meaning they tend to explode on impact instead of traveling along the ground, and in order to climb on vines you need to hold the run button. These differences are a lot to take in on their own, especially the vine thing, but when combined with new actions it gets a lot more complex. Well, more complex than the other Donkey Kong Country games, that is. The reason I mentioned shaking the remote while running is important is because shaking the remote is also tied to two other actions. You heard me. If you shake the controller while crouching, you'll blow. Yup, just pucker up and cause air to escape from DK's lungs. This can activate switches in the form of windmills or blow flowers away, leaving items behind, such as bananas, hearts, or puzzle pieces. More on those later. The most annoying thing is the final shaking action, which is performed by shaking the controller while standing still. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you shake while standing still, DK will pound the ground bongo style. Now, this is something he could do in the original game, but it had very limited function. Thankfully, that part of it is removed, as it's also used to activate switches or destroy objects revealing items or secrets. The problem is that sometimes you mean to do one and not the other. Yes, video game, I wanted to roll and do an extended jump there and not slam the ground. Yes, video game, I wanted to activate that switch on the ground, not roll to my death. It can be a problem. Other than those control issues, the game is incredibly well designed and feels just as fun as the classic games. The game is weightier and faster paced, making the game feel great once you're good enough to continuously move through the stage, something the unlockable time trials encourage. The level design is more devious than before, with some fun gimmicks of its own, such as the minecart from the original with a returned twist, and some are just not that fun, such as the rocket barrel. Retro managed to really make a platformer that feels just as fun and challenging as the ones of yesteryear, while also making it feel modern. They clearly know how to live up to their name. Now, there are some other things different than before. The Kong letters are back, but they no longer give lives from collecting them. Here, they give you access to a world's secret level when all letters are collected in all stages in a world. Bananas and live balloons are back, and they do what they did before, acting as coins and 1-ups. And banana coins return, this time being used to purchase overpowered items from Cranky's shop. Puzzle pieces are a new collectible and unlock artwork to view after collecting all on a stage. One other thing that's different is the world map. The world map is no longer a straight line, as it was in Country 1 or 2, but it is also not a semi-open world like in Country 3. Here, it's more like the new Super Mario Bros. Series, only less interesting visually as you are just indicated by a floating DK head icon. Rather than just be straightforward, there are secret exits in each world that can unlock extra levels and other pathways through the world leading to the boss. As mentioned, each stage is well designed and challenging, and the bosses follow suit, being a nice step up for the series. Each one has a fair bit more personality than the prior bosses, especially more personality than the pieces of wood that hypnotize them, and they all end with you pummeling the shit out of those wooden bastards. It's fun, tough-ass stuff. The final differences to mention are the animal buddies being axed almost entirely, with just Rambi returning, and Diddy acting much differently. Instead of counting as a second hit, Diddy not only gives you 2 extra hit points, making it 4 as DK now has 2 himself, but he also counts as a power-up thanks to his barrel jetpack from 64. This lets the pair hover a bit, similarly to Dixie's hair in 2 and 3, as Diddy rides on DK's back. You are never in control of Diddy himself unless you are playing the game in co-op. In co-op, the game acts similarly to New Super Mario Bros. Wii, where one player is DK and the other is Diddy, only you can't interfere with each other, making it a million times better. Here, Diddy can still hop on DK's shoulders in case the person you are playing with needs some help. Overall, the changes make the game have its own identity while also remembering what came before. Seeing as it's been a minute since we had a Donkey Kong Country game on consoles, it's no surprise to see just how different the game looks compared to the prior games, and it looks great. Gone are the static backgrounds and limited sprites. Instead, we have fully living backdrops for each stage and a lot of personality in the models. For a Wii game, it's incredible looking and it runs extremely well. It doesn't really matter how underpowered the Wii is. This game shows that you can make great looking games with weaker hardware if you are smart about it. The thing about the presentation that's not so great is the music, sadly. Now, it's not bad and is definitely better than DKC3's, but quite a bit of it is reused from the original game, just redone. Again, this is fine, especially seeing as David Wise hasn't returned to do the soundtrack, but it is disappointing. Still, the game sounds good and the visuals are incredible for the platform. Of course, the game isn't perfect. As mentioned, that damn rocket barrel just isn't fun, even if it isn't used too much. Despite that, the controls, more specifically the motion controls, are fucking atrocious. Yes, they are that bad. They just don't feel natural, and the force needed to do it is just enough for it to get tiring fast. Thankfully, those are the 2 biggest complaints. Any complaints against the Tiki Tribe are fairly minor, as the game itself is fantastic fun, and we needed DK to come back in this style. All of us fans of platformers starring big dumb apes can rest easy knowing that Nintendo made the right choice letting Retro add our favorite Monkeys series. Donkey Kong Country Returns is a fantastic, return to form for the King of Swing, and it's an excellent platformer in general. It's weighty, fast-paced, beautiful, and full of life, and it all runs extremely well. What few flaws it has are easy to overlook when you just breeze through a stage or see the next gimmick or stage hazard awaiting you. While it plays it safe in ways, it's daring in general to face Mario in his home territory, and I say that Retro pulled ahead of the plumber. If you like fun and challenging platformers and aren't afraid of gorillas, this is for you. Don't keep Donkey Kong locked away for long, Nintendo. We need him. While you're at it, may as well bring Candy back too, eh? Come on. No real reason I'm asking or anything.